Success is not always measured in dollars. However, dollars are needed to be successful in life. But there are many aspects that come to being successful. Have I said successful too many times? Some of the things I'm about to mention are very, very important, but they're simple and they're things that we already know. But a lot of times I think sometimes it just goes over our head. We take things for granted. We don't think enough. And these things are our core. They're very, very important for us just to simply take notice, reevaluate, and then adjust them into our everyday lives so that we stay on track. One of the things I want to go over is that some of us are lucky enough to have parents. If we don't have parents, we're lucky enough to have role models. And sometimes for some of us, it's unfortunate that we have to learn things on our own. When you're coming up, sometimes you get pissy with your parents because you get caught up in wanting to do what you want to do. We don't understand that if you have good parents, your parents tell you not to play in the road for a reason. They tell you to do good in school for a freaking reason. The reasons are simple. They want you to stay alive, number one. And number two, they simply want you to grow up and freaking be somebody. You tell me how many times have you grown up, if you're old enough to be on your own, that you wish you would have listened to your parents or your mentor when they were trying to tell you to do the right thing. What it simply boils down to is that most of the time experience is the best teacher. But understand, experience can be one of those experiences that really scar you for a long time, if not a lifetime. So make it clear in your mind, if you're still a young kid at home and you're growing up and you have parents that you have to answer to, try listening to them. All right? Be fair to your parents. I know you want to be a kid. You want to be whatever you want to be as far as hanging with your friends and doing this and that. But if your parents are telling you something that's worthwhile listening to, listen to them. Having good parents is a plus in being successful. Another one of those things needed in being successful is a good education. That can be from high school to college if you choose to further your education. But guys, listen, a lot of times you get caught up playing in high school. And that's not so much a good route to take. It is also important to put things in perspective. Stop playing when you should be serious about getting your schoolwork done. Don't be the dude that's left behind while everybody else is graduated, going to college, moving on to other things, succeeding and moving forward in life. Remember, there's a time and there's a place for everything under the sun. So first things are first, get your education. Don't be a dummy. I probably didn't mean to say dummy, but don't, just don't be left behind, okay? Some other components needed in being successful in life are simply a job. Now, you could be working while you're in high school, and of course, after you're out of high school, you're going to be working, or you should be working anyways. Try to maintain a banking account while you're doing that. That's important. You need that as well, too. Now, you may have been gifted a car for graduation, or even your parents might have bought you a car before graduation during school. If you're not fortunate enough to have one gifted to you or given to you, then maybe you ought to start putting that money aside from that job and get yourself a car, because you have to get a car to get back and forth to work or wherever it is that you need to go. Because what you're working on at this point in your life is that you're working on being independent. You're learning how to depend on you. Never have to depend on other people. That's why it's so important to have these components as such for success in your life. Now, sooner or later, you're going to think about moving out if you haven't moved out already. And again, you're going to have some place to stay, whether that's an apartment, you're going to have roommates or whatever. You're going to learn how to live on your own. So you see how all these things tie into each other. When you're missing one or the other, you're going to have a hard time putting it all together. So you have to have each component. You put them where you need to put them in place as far as how you're going to achieve them and make it happen. What I'm simply saying is that it's too easy to get caught up in life itself and not take care of the things that should be taken care of, those things that are most important. And when I say those things that are most important, that simply means you lose sight of the bigger picture. Because see, later on down the road in life, when things start happening in a negative manner, and then you realize that you didn't do what you were supposed to do, now you're stuck. And the last thing you're going to do is be able to blame somebody, because guess what? It's still your problem. So, until you're able to make it up in your mind that you're going to get up on time, you're going to go to school, you're going to finish high school, you're going to choose whether or not you want to go to college, you're going to choose afterwards that, hey, I'm going to go into the workforce, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to be successful, I am going to be somebody in life, I'm not going to wait till it's too late, and then it's going to be even harder to be successful. Young men, it is not hard to do the right thing. And no, we are not perfect. We make mistakes. But understand, when we make mistakes, sometimes it's hard as hell to come back and correct it or make it right. So make those mistakes as less as possible. Stay focused on the future and do now what is right, because the future, of course, is going to count on it. And with that being said, that wraps up another episode of Top Mail. As always, I am Keith Jason White, your host. If I have said anything that was informative, something that encouraged you, you want to say, Keith, listen, I understand that there's a rat race going on out there. I'm going to put on my track shoes and I'm going to get into the race. I refuse to watch others be successful while I sit on the sidelines and not be a part of it. I want to be a part of that successful rate of people. Then, after that, I ask that you subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell notification so that you will know next time I upload. And until next time, guys, hey, we'll see you at the top.